This is curing my depression. Like, I'm talking like, but I have a vision. Let me turn it around because I clearly love bright colors. So it's time for the magic to happen. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel if you are a returning subscriber, or welcome if you are new. I am so happy to see you. I'm so happy to have you here. My name is Amber and I love sharing my life online. I just do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and we just have a great time over here. I am on a weight loss journey after being diagnosed with sleep apnea. I've lost 30 pounds and yeah, it's been a great time. I've also just rediscovered so much about myself on this weight loss journey and just, you know, rediscovered things that I'm interested in, things that I want to pursue a little bit more now that I have more energy and I'm not tired all the time. So we're kind of just like exploring life and trying to find things that make us happy. Today I wanted to start a new vlog because I'm doing a fun little project and I thought I would take you guys along. My husband and I went to IKEA yesterday and I got a new bookshelf, which is right over there. I'll show you in a second. But it inspired me to do some bookish crafting activities. So I wanted to take you guys along for that. Yesterday night, I ordered 100 tiny little books. Like, I'm talking like that small. They're really, really tiny. And they're meant to be like in a, it said like for doll houses. Like they were like little like accoutrement for like doll houses and stuff like that. But I wanted to, I've seen a couple people do this where they basically print out the cover of a book and they glue it onto these little tiny books so that it's like a little tiny book, and then they have them in a jar and they can like almost do a TBR from the tiny books that are in the jar. So I went ahead and I printed out a ton of books that are on my new bookshelf, and also a couple that are on my shelves by my couch. So I wanted to just, you know, do a little crafting with you guys and put this together. I do not have my tiny books yet. They're coming right now. They're being delivered to my house right now. So whenever they get here, we can have a little fun crafting session. But the other thing that I wanted to do, and that I need to do, is attempt to clean out this jar that is a candle, was a candle. This is a candle jar that I got from Anthropologie. It's the volcano scent, right? Volcano, that's like the popular one. It's whatever the scent that Anthropologie smells like when you walk into the store. Pretty sure it's volcano. But I'm obsessed with this like pale yellow color. I love yellow. I love yellow. And I really want to try to clean this out so that I can put my little books in here. I've never cleaned out a candle jar before, so this is gonna be quite an experiment. I just Googled how to do it and it says you can either freeze the container overnight and let the wax pop out, or you can put boiling hot water. I don't have the patience to wait until tomorrow, plus I have to work tomorrow, so we're gonna try the boiling hot water method and see if this works. Fingers crossed, because I absolutely love this jar. It's just so cute. There is some like ash on the inside, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to wipe the majority, if not all of that off. Let's get to experimenting. Also, please excuse my hair. I have my hair in braids, but it is the morning time and I have not done anything to them. We just show up real here as we are. While my water heats up, let's do a little bookshelf tour. I am not completely done with it. There's still spaces that are not filled in, but I have a vision of filling some of these in with either my special Fairy Loot edition books, because I recently got on the Fairy Loot subscription and I am beyond excited for it. Or I could also do my Illumicrate ones, or just like something colorful. I want this to be like my colorful bookshelf. Without further ado, let me turn you around. Here she is, beautiful as ever. So this is the Hermes, I think is what it's called. I will link it down below, but it's the, I think it's Hermes bookshelf. So it's like this beautiful turquoise color. I absolutely love it. And I like it because it does have a little bit more character, a lot of bit more character than the Billy bookcases, which I still love the Billy bookcases. I think those are great, but I loved the color and I'm trying to bring a little bit more like color brightness into our house because I clearly love bright colors. So I'm trying to bring that a little bit more into our home. And I think books are a great way to do that because books have such interesting and artistic covers and I just adore that. I think it's so fun to like display them and have them be a part of your home. So up here I have just like a bunch of little romance books, paperbacks that I have not gotten to. Actually, some of them I have, but the majority of them I have not gotten to. These are all of my book of the month books that I also have not gotten to. I'm not the greatest at reading my book of the month books when I actually acquire a set of books, so I did line them up by the color of the book of the month. Little tab on the end here. And then this is my Poppy War / colorful, like artistic covered books in this middle part here. I want this to be more of like a shelf that I'm actually displaying stuff and less of like a whole bunch of books on it type of thing. So I have my special edition Poppy War books here, a little candle that is an amber moss scented candle, a little flower that my mom got me, and then I have these thick chunky books. These are all the Priory of the Orange Tree books. So I have the Priory of the Orange Tree, A Day of Fallen Night, and then Among the Burning Flowers. That's this little trilogy here. And then these are some these are some L'Oreal books that I really like the end pages of. So I put those here as well as over here. And then here I just have the Powerless series as well as my one series from the Legacy, the Legendborn cycle. I think I'm going to try to get Legendborn and Blood Oath. Is that the other one? Yeah. I want to get all three of those books, so those are going to be down here. I have an empty shelf here, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but then this is my Harry Potter shelf. I partially did this so I could weigh the bottom down just in case, like, you know, we don't need any tipping, and these books right here are super heavy. So I have the illustrated versions here, I have my paperbacks here, and then I have the other illustrated versions down here. I still need to get the fourth one, because I think the fourth one of this type of illustrated one came out recently, so I need to get that one. But yeah, I just like having them all on display here, so that's super exciting. I'm really happy with how that turned out. I just heard my water stop boiling, so it's time for the magic to happen. Also, if you don't have one of these tea kettles, I think this is like the Stag or whatever, I don't know. It's a tea kettle, but the bottom is not hot, so you can literally set it on your countertop and it won't bust anything. Isn't that great? I swear to God, if this ruins my cup, I'm gonna be so mad. Okay, I'm gonna do it in the sink here. That was dicey for a moment, but we got it. She's totally cleaned out. That was way easier than I thought. Like, why haven't I ever done this before? But basically I just poured the hot water in, and then don't pour it out in your sink because it will definitely clog your drains. But I did pour it outside in like this like garbage pile. That sounds weird. It's like it's something we were gonna throw away anyways, so I just poured it on top of that. It's like some dirt, and yeah, it's all cleaned out. I had to wipe this soot off the inside a little bit more thoroughly, but yeah, she's good to go. I'm so happy. This is gonna match my shelf so great. Okay, let's get cutting my little books out so we can put them in our little jar. Okay, so it's later in the day. It's been a very fun day, and we kind of did something dramatic to our house, so I want to show you guys. Also, I completely dismantled that whole bookshelf because I ended up putting some of those books on my other bookshelf, my new one, the green one. So yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with that, but we're doing like a whole home makeover right now. This is curing my depression, okay? I have been in the thick of a depressive episode, and this is something I used to do as a kid. Like when I was not feeling great, I would just like redo my entire home. There's something about that that just like creates a fresh perspective, I feel like, on life. And so we did that again today, and we took some trips to IKEA, and I love the way it turned out, and so do my dogs. They're like all for it. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys, okay? Oh my gosh. Okay, just ignore the clutter. But our kitchen table used to be right here. This table here used to be in our kitchen, and we moved our dining room table to the kitchen and replaced the table with this one in front of the window, so it's like a little cafe vibe. And then we went to IKEA and we bought this rug. We bought this rug, the 2 chairs, and then this little round thing. I think it looks so cute, and it's such like an awesome pop of color. I'm so sorry, I'm not taking that toy away from her. She's too happy. But it just looks like a little cafe reading nook vibe. And it's so much more open, and we also have more seating, which I'm very happy about because we've only had the couch area, which don't get me wrong, I love, but I wanted like a second place to sit besides my reading room. And also whenever we have like guests over and stuff, there's just not a lot of places for people to sit. So we have this whole little area here, and I am obsessed with it. I love it. And then in the kitchen, ignore everything that doesn't look pretty, okay? The kitchen, we have the table. Boom. I do need to like fix that area, but that's the gist. It looks so good. Also, the dogs are like in love with this carpet. All of this was from IKEA. If I can find it on the website, I will link everything down below. So yeah, I'm just completely obsessed. I feel like this is also such a cute background for like videos and stuff. And yeah, it just makes my heart happy. Also, it brought a lot of color into our home that I really feel like we needed. So I'm a color queen. I love myself some color. We have blue walls in this house, like green walls upstairs. I just love color. So I'm very happy that we brought another pop of color with the orange. I'm so happy with it. I absolutely love it. And like I said, it's cured my depression. So I am currently reading a book for my dystopian novel vlog, which I am in the middle of filming. I'm reading Daggermouth. Yes, I'm in the middle of Daggermouth. But I kind of want to pick a book from my new jar that I created this morning. So I think I'm going to do that. I did just want to give a caveat because I didn't really explain the whole book thing all that much, but I bought those little tiny books, and then I glued, you guys saw me glue all of the little things that I cut out, the little titles, or like basically the cover page of each book, onto the little book. And then I just put them in my little anthropology candle. And my idea is that I can just pick out a book from the candle either once a month for a TBR jar video, or if like I just need some inspiration, I'm kind of in a rut, or if the mood strikes me, or if I want to do a video all about like all the books I pick out, and you know, my candle jar picks my books for the week or something like that. I think I could really enjoy doing something like that. But I kind of want to start a new book right now that I have this cute little area to read in. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let's get the jar. Let's pick a book. I'm kind of nervous. What if it's not a book I like? I'm gonna pick 3. I'm gonna pick 3, and then I'm gonna pick based off of those 3, because I'm nervous. Truth or Beard by Penny Reed. Okay, can you see this? She's so tiny. This, I believe, is a book about a man with a beard. I think it's a lumberjack romance series. So I do have this book, and the cover, obviously I have this book, duh. But the cover is really cute. I got like a limited edition one. So also, side note, these books do open. They're like paper. And I did not realize that. I thought it was just kind of like a paper mache square type thing, but. All right, book number 1 was Truth or Beard. A Family Matter by Claire Lynch. I have no idea if you guys can see these, so I apologize if they're too small. I will put the graphic of the actual book up somewhere on the screen. And then Ghost Rider by Julie Clark. Wait, but I kind of want to pick one more. I'm doing it. My rules. I don't know why, but 4 just seems like the right number. One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. Okay, we have our stack here. I did get all of the Carly Fortune books that are in that series, I think, just because I want to make sure that I'm picking the right book. But anyways, let's start with, woo! This is a spinning chair. I'm gonna start with the first one I pulled, which is Truth or Beard by Penny Reed. So this is the book. It says, falling for the wrong twin never felt so good. Identical twins, Beau and Dwayne Winston. I love that name. Beau and Dwayne, well, they're two names. Beau and Dwayne Winston, amazing. So Beau and Dwayne Winston might share the same devastatingly handsome face, but where Beau is outgoing and sociable, Dwayne is broody and reserved. That's why perpetually level-headed Jessica James has been a naive and unhealthy infatuation with Beau for most of her life. While Dwayne and Jessica have always been adversaries, she can't stand him, and she's pretty sure he can't bear the sight of her. But after a case of mistaken identity, Jessica finds herself in the middle of a massive confusion kerfuffle. She spent a whole life paralyzed by the fantasy of Beau and her assumptions of Dwayne's disdain. So now that she knows she's been wrong all along, she's unprepared for the reality that is Dwayne's insatiable interest. Nia is not having it. And his hot looks and hot hands and even hotter kisses. She always thought she knew her own mind, but as Jessica finds herself drawn to the man who's been her sworn adversary for years, how much of her heart is she willing to risk? Cool, cool. Well, this sounds freaking amazing. Okay, so this series actually has 7 books, and they're all about beards. Truth or Beard, Grin and Beard It, Beard Science, Beard in Mind, Beard in Hiding, Doctor Strange Beard, Beard with Me, Beard and Necessities, and then there's like a novella that's Beauty and the Mustache. It's called the Winston Brothers series. Next up is A Family Matter by Claire Lynch. This one says, a young wife following her heart, a husband with the law on his side, their daughter caught in the middle. 40 years later, a family secret changes everything. 1982. Dawn is a young wife and mother penned in by the expectations of her time and place when Hazel lights up her world like a torch in the dark. Their connection is impossible to resist, and suddenly life is more complicated and more joyful than Dawn ever expected. But she has responsibilities and commitments. She has a daughter. 2022. Heron, an older man of quiet habits, has just received news from his doctor that turns everything upside down. Telling Maggie, his only child, the person around whom his life has revolved, feels impossible. He has only ever wanted to protect her. A Family Matter is a heartbreaking and hopeful exploration of love and loss, intimacy and injustice, custody and care, and whether it is possible to heal from the wounds of the past in the changed world of today. Whew. That sounds heavy. Don't know if I'm like mentally okay for this right now. Okay, Julie Clark, The Ghostwriter. This is the next one. June 1975. The Taylor family shatters in a single night when 2 teenage siblings are found dead in their own home. The only surviving sibling, Vincent, never shakes the whispers and accusations that he was the one who killed them. Decades later, the legend only grows as his career as a horror writer skyrockets. Wow, that was hard to say. Horror writer skyrockets. That's a lot of R's. Ghostwriter Olivia Dumont has spent her entire professional life hiding the fact that she is the only child of Vincent Taylor. Now on the brink of financial ruin, she's offered a job to ghostwrite her father's last book. What she doesn't know, though, is that this project is another one of his lies, because it's not another horror novel he wants her to write. After 50 years of silence, Vincent Taylor is finally ready to talk about what really happened that night in 1975. Okay, this one sounds very appealing to me because I've been in a true crime mood lately. I have just been listening to a ton of true crime podcasts like all the time. So this one is very appealing to me. And then One Golden Summer. It says, this is by Carly Fortune, One Golden Summer. I've actually never read a Carly Fortune book, ever. You know, scandalous. I never anticipated Charlie Florek. Good things happen at the lake. That's what Alice's grandmother says, and it's true. Alice spent just one summer there at a college with Nan when she was 17. It's where she took that photo, the one of the 3 grinning teenagers in a yellow speedboat, the image that changed her life. Now Alice lives behind the lens. As a photographer, she's most comfortable on the sidelines, letting other people shine. Lately, though, she's been itching for something more, and when Nan falls and breaks her hip, Alice comes up with a plan for them both. Another summer at that magical place, Barry's Bay. But as soon as they settle in, their peace is disrupted by the roar of a familiar yellow boat and the man driving it. Charlie Florek was 19 when Alice took his photo from afar. Now he's all grown up, a shameless flirt who manages to make Nan laugh, and Alice longed to be 17 again, when life was simpler, when taking pictures was just for fun. Sun-slanted days and warm nights out on the lake with Charlie are a balm for Alice's soul, but when she looks up and sees his piercing green gaze directly on her, she begins to worry for her heart. Because Alice sees people. That's why she's so good at what she does. But she's never met someone who looks and sees right back. One Golden Summer I feel like is giving me too many summer vibes right now. I feel like I need to read that in like June, July, August. That kind of thing. So I'm between Truth or Beard and The Ghostwriter. Oh, this is a toughie. I'm gonna go with The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. I've had this book for a while now. It was my book of the month for June of last year, so I've had it for quite a minute. So I think this will be a good one. It's definitely giving me The Last One by Riley Sager vibes. Like, isn't that the one where the like personal attendant or personal like CNA kind of thing ends up writing the main character's story? I feel like that's this one as well. So we are going, I actually have not read the whole book, The Last One by Riley Sager. I think that's the book I'm thinking of. But I haven't read the whole entire book. I've read like 20% of it, and then I just like was not into it at the time, so I put it down. But I need to get back to that one because it is on my TBR for April, so I do need to get reading that soon. But I'm gonna read The Ghostwriter for a little bit and see how I feel about it. So let's get reading in our new little cozy spot.